Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. This is Timeout Overtime on the Timeout Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenault. And before we do anything more, go any further, if you would please, if you haven't done so yet, get down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button. If you would please, you'd be doing me a big favor as I bring Miguel Cabrera in on here. I almost forgot you, Mickey. I'm sorry, pal. How are we doing today? Okay. Can't do the show without Mickey. No. Hola. Uh, yeah, we're going to try to get this. It's a nice day out there today. Too bad every summer day couldn't be like this, right? I've got quite a bit to get to, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get it all in today. So whatever I don't get to, it will have to be held over until Saturday. I'll do the best I can. So let's get started with this, shall we? Time Out Overtime is sponsored in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. If it's time for a new to-you vehicle, let the sales professionals at Beck's help you choose the right vehicle, new or pre-owned. Beck's has the top selection in the tri-state area with over 200 vehicles in stock. Stop by and see for yourself, and when you're ready, ask for Russ McMorty, Chris Hodis, Danny Smith, Adam Schaefer, Blake Bryant, Cameron Mincio, Bob Flynn, or their newest sales professional, Peyton Lucas. And when it comes time to service that new to you vehicle, the service pros at Beck's can fix it. Any make, any model, Ford or domestic, Beck's can fix it. And if you have a bit of a crunch or fender bender, Beck's Body Shop can put it back together looking just as good as new. So for all your automotive needs, look no further than Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville, 517-849-2886, or on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come and experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Start off with the Tigers, I suppose. They just dropped 2 out of 3 to the best team in baseball. Arguably, I think they're the best team in baseball yesterday. And to just rub a little salt in the wound, they got beat by a former Tiger, Spencer Turnbull. I wasn't even aware of the fact that he was in the Phil's starting rotation. And just for good measure, Gregory Soto came in to finish things off, another former Tiger. Anyway, the Tigers are out west tonight, getting ready for a series in Anaheim. From there, they'll go to Minnesota, finish the road trip in Cincinnati before coming back home. I wonder how many of you are going to stay up past midnight tonight to watch 2 of the worst teams in baseball go at it. I guarantee you that the debate tonight will be more exciting than this Tiger Angel game. I'll guarantee you that right now. As we speak, they're 37-43 tonight. Game number 81. So we're at the halfway point tonight. I believe they're about 15 games behind Cleveland. 6 or 7 games out of a wild card, but who cares at this point? The most significant thing for them will be, pardon me, about 5 weeks from now when the trade deadline comes up at the end of July. And former Detroit News Tiger beat writer Lynn Henning has already made it known that the Tigers are receiving offers and overtures already for Tarek Skubal. I think they owe it to themselves. Look. He's got any team that would get him right now. He's on a pace to get 20 wins. He could very well win the American League Cy Young Award this year. Playing on a team that is as bad as this one, that's quite an accomplishment. That's not an easy feat. He could even be in the running for the MVP, but if they don't make the playoffs, that's not going to happen. I think they owe it to themselves to dangle him out there, especially since Scott Harris, well, apparently just a couple of days ago, I didn't see it, went on this podcast that Dan Dickerson and Jason Benetti do. Again, he'll do an interview with them, but he won't come on the flagship. Apparently, if you missed it, AJ Hinch does a bi-weekly show with the flagship, and he and Jim Costa kind of got into it the other morning. I don't know what to say about that. Uh, maybe they made too much of a big. Maybe they made too much of a big deal out of it than what it was. But I didn't think that some couple of questions Costa asked him were necessary. But maybe he's trying to make a name for himself. I don't know, but I'm sure Hinch is getting paid to do it. So I mean, he's probably contractually obligated to come on twice a month and talk to these guys. But maybe this is why Scott. I'm sure it's why Scott Harris doesn't come on with him. Anyhow, look, Harris made it known on this podcast what I was getting to with Dickerson and Benetti. He made it known that they're not ready to win. For best case scenario would probably be at least 3 or 4 years yet. Whoever gets Skubal will have control of him for 2 more years yet. And the longer the Tigers wait, if they do intend on extending him, the longer they wait, the more it's going to cost them. Because you know darn well who his agent is, Scott Boras. And the way Boras works, he doesn't do anything early, as he does with all his agents. He takes it right up to the deadline. So we're talking about the end of the 2026 season. If he takes it right up until then, you're talking about an ungodly amount of money. And certainly, Chris Ilitch isn't going to pay that. Bottom line is, the point I'm trying to make, you're better off trading him now. And this is Scott Harris's, in his 22-month tenure here in Detroit. This is his chance to put his real first stamp, if you will, on this team with a blockbuster deal that would bring him several quality, bona fide, big league prospects, players. I'm not talking about middle of the road prospects. I'm talking about can't miss guys. You do your due diligence. You do your homework, and if he can get several teams involved, like the Orioles could use a starting pitcher, even the Dodgers. I bring both those teams up because they both have very good farm systems. Make a deal with either one of these 2 teams, you could get some really good blue chip young talent out of it. So we'll see what Scott Harris does. We know it's almost a certainty that they're going to be trading Jack Flaherty. Who knows? They could even be trading. It wouldn't surprise me to see them trade Matt Verling either. I don't know if anybody. I don't know if they can get anything from Mark Canha, but so that's where we're at with the Tigers right now. I think that's all we're going to say about them. I got a couple other things. I've already gone too long with this. I apologize. I'm say something here for Quality PC and then finish this out. Tim Lindley at Quality PC, 37 Waldron Street in downtown Hillsdale, a couple hundred feet west of Howell Street. The place to go, folks, for all your tech needs. We are so blessed to have a man of Tim Lindley and his assistant, Zach, and their tech knowledge, if you will, around here. You will find no better knowledgeable people when it comes to tech services than these guys. Anything. Computers, flat screen TVs, mounted, programmed, internet service. Maybe you need a new internet system installed. They'll take care of that. Anything. Printers, new or used. These guys are good. They really know what they're doing. 517-610-5372, or like I said, they're at 37 Waldron Street in downtown Hillsdale. Get in there and say hi to Tim and Zach. And when you do, please tell them Rick sent you. Thank you. The Wings, a couple of days ago, traded defenseman Jake Walman to the San Jose Sharks. They also chipped in with a second-round draft pick for future considerations. Walman and a second-round pick to the Sharks. And then basically the Wings got nothing in return. Obviously, it was clearing salary cap. Come think of it though, this is the most bizarre deal. The Wings could have easily waived if you wanted clearing salary cap. You could have waived Waldman, and the Sharks could have claimed him off waivers. Bottom line is this isn't the end of the story yet. The feeling is that something big is brewing with Steve Yzerman. There's been some scuttlebutt and talk about Steven Stamkos, the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yzerman goes back. He knows Stamkos from the days in Tampa Bay. He's a durable player. He's 34. He played 79 games last year. I think he played 81 games the 2 previous years before that. I like Stamkos, but the guy's 34 years old. The Lightning have pretty much made it known. Monday is the deadline. You can start signing free agents on Monday in the NHL. The Lightning have pretty much said that the offer they've got on the table now is it. They're not going to. It was their final fair and firm offer to Stamkos. I'll say if he becomes a free agent, he's a little bit younger than Patrick Kane. I think he'd be the same type of player, but I wouldn't at his age. Not saying he's not a good player, but I wouldn't be prepared to give him a long-term deal, like give him a 2-year deal or something. But and then there's the saga going on in Edmonton in the Canadian Rockies with the Oilers, who the day after they lost to the Florida Panthers, lost the Stanley Cup, they reached a mutual parting of the ways with their general manager, Ken Holland. So the draft is tomorrow night is the NHL draft. If you thought it was bad for the Pistons to go into the draft without a head coach, and what I'm going to say about the Pistons is their pick of Ron Holland up from the G League, very disappointing. I'll have a few more things to say about that in a second. But the Oilers don't have a general manager right now. They've got a player by the name of a very good player, Leon Draisaitl, 28, 100 points, 5 of the last 6 years. 3 of those years, he scored 50 goals. What he had to say after the game the other night, I don't really think, would he like to stay in Edmonton? Yeah, but he said there's a lot of things that have to be hashed over first. I think if you're Steve Yzerman, you have to think about putting together a package to acquire Leon Draisaitl, 28-year-old phenom from the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers, folks, they don't want to go into this coming season. This is the last year of Draisaitl's contract, with his contract hanging over their heads. They're going to do one of two things. They'll give him a lucrative extension, or they'll trade him, one of the two. Because the year after that, they've got Connor McDavid's contract coming up. They're going to pay both of those guys. But again, we don't. If you're dealing with the Oilers, who's the general manager now? They don't have one. Word is that Ken Hyland might end up in Chicago. I don't know right now, but so you're going to the draft tomorrow without a general manager. So if you are going to negotiate or deal with the Oilers, who are you talking to? I couldn't give you a name right now. So I don't know what's going on at Edmonton, but as far as the Pistons go, getting back to there for just a second, I'll try to wrap all this up as best I can. Ron Holland, the second, from the G League, 18-year-old kid, according to Trajan Langdon, he does everything well except shoot the basketball, 24% from behind the 3-point stripe or arc. To me, folks, this is the same mistake that Langdon's predecessor made. Back a couple of years ago, who'd they take in the first round? Well, they took Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. Neither one of them can shoot. Last year, Asar Thompson, pretty good athlete, defender, but the guy can't shoot. And now you're taking another kid, a teenager. And like I said, Langdon says he does everything well except shoot the basketball. I don't understand what the Pistons are doing. Langdon also made the comment that Tom Gores was involved in this. That doesn't surprise me. I sent the guys a text message last night after the draft was made. This looks like a deal that Tom Gores, maybe he made the call on this pick. Holland was at the draft. He was there for an interview after he got drafted, so he was obviously expected to be taken by someone. Don't have anything yet. When I got on the air today and started this, apparently the Pistons, the second round is going on right now, and they did make a move. They did trade up in the second round from 53 to 37. ESPN was predicting they would take Jalen Bridges, guard out of Baylor. I haven't heard anything yet. No, I don't have anything yet on the Pistons' second round pick. Don't see it. I want to say something too about the Lions. A couple of the two real standouts in the mini camp were rookie Mekhi Wingo, the defensive tackle out of LSU, and Levi Onwuzurike. They both had very impressive camps. Wingo, they say, from the reporters that were there and the people looking on, reminded them a lot of another Brad Holmes pick, Aaron Donald. Well, that's a pretty huge comparison to make, but I'm anxious to see Mekhi Wingo. I think he wears number 94. Anxious to see him in training camp and the exhibition season. And hey, if Levi Onwuzurike is back as healthy now, and he has a good training camp and preseason, hey, be very happy for him. He might be the comeback player of the year, but he was very impressive in training camp. So if those two guys could do what they've done up to this point, they would be an integral part of that defensive line rotation and provide great depth. Because I'm not really sure now that DJ Reader is going to be ready to start the regular season on September the 8th. And if I don't get a swig of water, I'm not going to be able to finish this, folks. Hang on just a second. Oh, boy. I was hoping I'm not going to have time to our friends at Pro Football Focus have ranked all 32 defensive lines in the NFL, run through 32. Saturday. Well, I'll put this off until Saturday. I'll tell you where the Lions are in that list, 1 through 32, as per Pro Football Focus. Their ranking of every defensive line in the NFL, 1 through 32. We'll tell you where the Lions rank on Saturday. Pardon me. And if you didn't see this, I wonder who has more viewers on their podcast, me or Kelly Stafford. If you haven't heard, and she does, I don't know how often she does this thing. She opened up a whole can of worms on her last podcast by revealing she told a story on that podcast about how she dated Stafford's backup QB at Georgia to make him mad during their college days. She had to come out this week and kind of try to walk that back a little bit and offer an apology to Joe Cox, who was obviously the guy that she was talking about, and his family, saying she was sorry for the media storm that they were subjected to after she shared this personal story. And this poor guy, right now, he's the tight ends coach at Alabama, Joe Cox, but he was Matthew Stafford's backup at Georgia. So Kelly revealed that she had a fling with this guy to make Matthew jealous. Can you see this poor guy now coming home from work, and his wife says, "Well, is this why you were late picking me up that one night?" In case you missed it, here's Kelly Stafford telling the tale about a brief fling, I'll call it a fling, a relationship she had with her now husband's ex-teammate, and how it made him mad at the time and eventually led to them getting back together. Uh, I'm not gonna put that out here. It's there's a video on that, but I why, Kelly? Why would you do something like this? Uh, and I wonder what Matthew. I haven't heard any quotes from Matthew on this either. So no, no, no. And I'm getting a text from my colleagues. Again, more bizarre stuff from the Pistons. It looks to me like instead of Frazier Langdon running the show, we know the coaches. It looks to me like Tom Gores is calling all the shots right now. My colleagues from the Timeout Show with Andy Brown are rather irate over what transpired today as well as yesterday. Like I say, I'm not privy to what they just did, but neither one of them like it, so it must not be very good. Okay, that's about it. Like I said, Saturday I'll have that. We'll run over the Pro Football Focus 1 through 32, their ranking of the defensive lines in the NFL. I'll tell you where the Lions are, what they had to say about them. So that's about it for now. Don't forget the Timeout Show with Andy Brown Saturday morning from 9 to 10 here locally, WCSR 92.1 FM. And I will talk to you again on Saturday afternoon, more than likely. So until then, on behalf of Miggy, adios. Miggy says adios. Remember, treat each other with respect, and have a good evening. Good evening, everyone.